Hello. So I just had a wonderful little train of thought. If we are to see ourselves as the living embodiment of consciousness, and that our physical vessels are our physical embodiment of that spark of consciousness, and we consider the earth itself as the consciousness of Gaia, and that earth, that which we see, is the physical representation of her vessel, her chosen form to experience consciousness. If we are to consider them to be the same on different levels, different planes of understanding, different planes of decision of how to exist, then we should see her physical body the same way we see our own physical body. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, like I said, the physical environment around us is the physical representation of her body, her earth body, right? The rivers are obviously her lifeblood, her flow, that which feeds not only her, but all of her creation within her, us, the animals, etc. Then you have the air mind, which would be the atmosphere, that which keeps us protected from too much UV and the vacuum of space. This is her safety mechanism, just like your brain is your calculator and your computer to tell you whether or not the environment around you is safe. The atmosphere does the same and has storms from time to time when it's angry, or, just needs to release a little bit of excess energy. So if we see that, then we have to acknowledge that obviously the core would be the fire body. Okay, now let's talk about that fire body. How is your fire body fed? If your fire body is your muscles, which is what I would consider your fire physical representation, that which moves your body. So if your fire body requires a protein in order to build, then, well, Gaia's core requires some kind of sustenance in order to continue to burn, correct? What happens? Let's talk about that process, that cycle of life. Animals roam the earth, they pass away, they are fed into the ground. That which is in the ground seeps lower and lower, and eventually it turns into a substance. That substance is oil, right? Everything biological eventually becomes oil, which is why they say that it's precious, because eventually it'll run out. But will it? Now, let's go a step further. As we can see this as like the digestive process of Gaia, let's take it to your intestines. Say that these areas where oil pools is more like a refinement area, where eventually it will seep even deeper and become a different form of self, as everything does as it gets deeper, until it eventually becomes that which fuels the fire within. We're interrupting her eating process. We're interrupting her fuel for her fire body, which is her consciousness. If she doesn't have enough fuel for her brain and her soul, she can't remember who she is. I'm just going to let it sit right there. Just let that sit with you. Contemplate that for 5 minutes. And think about how you feel. Bye, guys.